Legani Tavshin Chof Hei, which is the mimer. The theme of the mimer is based on the 15th chapter of the mimer Basi Legani Tavshin Yud from the Rebbe Rayatz. The Rebbe Rayatz gave out for the day of his yard site Tavshin Yud to learn a mimer Basi Legani that has 20 chapters in the mimer, and each year the Rebbe would explain the Maimonim of Yud Shvat. Each year was based on another chapter from the Maimer Basi Legani from the Rebbe Rayat. So the first year of the Rebbe's Nesius Tavshin Yud Aleph was mainly based on the first chapter of the Maimer Basi Legani that his father-in-law gave out for Tavshin Yud. Tavshin Yud Beis was Beis and Gimel is Gimel. So this year is chapter 15, and the Rebbe explains. Okay, so it says, so usually in the first chapter of the Rebbe's Maimer each year, the Rebbe sums up all the Maimonim from the beginning, from chapter 1 till that chapter. He sums it up in, says like the main key points from all those Maimonim. And then he goes on to explain that year's Maimer. That year's chapter. Okay. Basi Legani, Yachesi Kala came to my garden, my sister, my Kala. Or maybe by the Idula Maimer Medrash, Legani Lignuni. My father-in-law, that is your site, is on your Shvari brings what it says in the Medrash on this pasuk. I came to not a garden or even the garden, I came to my garden, to my place where I have pleasure. The Malkum Shahaya Ikadi Batchila, to the place where I originally was. I mainly was in this place in the beginning. The main level of the Shechina was mainly down here in this world. It was here. Why isn't he here anymore? Why am I coming back? Because after he was here, audition through the sin, the tree of knowledge, he ate from the Chedas, he made the Shechina leave this world and go up to the heavens. And after that, through the sins of the generations after Avram, they continued to separate the Shekhinah out of the world, ended up higher and higher to higher heavens till the seventh heaven. After that, the righteous tzaddikim, the fathers, our forefathers, fathers of the world, they do with Hashem Moshe Rabbeinu, so the tzaddikim came after that, and they brought the Shekhinah back down from the seventh heaven, all the way down, lower and lower, until they brought the Shekhinah back down to this world. Who brought it down? The seventh, which all the seventh are beloved and cherished. So that is Moshe Rabbeinu, and he brought it. He brought it from the first heaven down to this world. This is the whole purpose, that the Shekhinah should come back down here to this world, and it should come back and it shall be on a higher level, and permeating the Tachtonim more than the way it was from the times of the Midrash. The Malkum Shayikri till it returned to its original place where it was in the very beginning. This is what it says, that tzaddikim will rest forever on it. They'll rest forever on the land. So this says not that they will rest on the land forever, but they will make the level of forever, that level of forever, the level of La'ad should rest on the land. The level of La'ad is referring to the Shah. So this Sheikhin Ad Morim V'Chadish, Sheikhin Ad, to rest, Ad, the Shekhinah is referred to the level of Ad, La'ad. There are tzaddikim yishkinu la'ad Allah. They're going to make the level of la'ad to rest on the world. Hainu shel yod v'alidas shel tzaddikim. Amich kulam tzaddikim u'lasis. They do So this that it says tzaddikim yirushawaretz. V'yishkinu la'ad aleha. Who's the tzaddikim of you're referring to? This is referring to all people. And their job is to rest the level of God, the Shekhinah, to make it dwell on the world, to make it dwell. And through their work of bending over and transforming the Sitra Achara, fifth, to reveal the honor of Hashem in all the worlds. So which level do they draw down to this world, to rest in this world? They reveal not just the lower level of Godness, which is Mamali Kalam, the level that fills up the worlds, each creation according to its limited capacity. It's a very lower level of God's light, but even more than that, the level of Seviv Kalam, the level that's above the limitations and the capacity of ability of receiving the light of each creation. This is the honor of Hashem, the level in all the worlds evenly. This is going on the level of Seviv Kalam that shines in all the worlds evenly. And this itself, that it shines in all the worlds, it's not in a way that it's penetrated and felt in the world, rather it's in the form stalik. So this it's the world is the nimi for this light. It is in all the worlds. וגם בשיחם, בשכל אחד מישראל, שהם אלו שכינה שיזברך להם, שזהו אידן ישכנו לעד עליה. So this is what it says, you shall make for me a sanctuary, and I will rest within it. I will rest within the Mikdash, yes, and also within them, to rest within every single Jew, which they are the ones that draw down this godly light down here, that the God should rest within them. Okay. It continues. All of this is a summary of the first chapter of the Maimer Basi Legani. But it continues to explain. The main Aveda in the tabernacle and in the temple, in the Mishkan and in the Mikdash, which the whole purpose of them is to cause and bring about the idea of a Shachanti, to bring Hashem's light that it shall rest. This is the work of the sacrifices, of the korbanos, on the altar, and the ktoilis on the incenses. It says in Zoyar that the secret of the korban is that it reaches till the hidden levels of Al-Achad is a nasa in the Nachas Lafani. So when you bring the korban, this is an elevation from this world that leads to the secret korban reaches the highest levels and causes a pleasure. This is the drawing of the godly light back down to this world through the korban. This is also what the Mishkan was made out of, the shittim woods. Like it says, you should make the pillars for the tabernacle, for the Mishkan, with shittim woods. The word shita is also from the term of the word shtus, like it says in the Madrash, which is simple meaning of the word shtus means to go off the regular straight path, to turn to the side. So there is so there is shtus in Klippa, which that's what Klippa is all about. It's shtus. It's to go off the straight path of Kedusha. And in Kedusha itself, there is shtus de Kedusha. So you have the normal Kedusha to go away, the straight path. Then you have Klippas to go off the right path. And in Kedusha itself, you can go in Kedusha on a higher level. That's called shtus de Kedusha. To do things above, to serve Hashem above our limitations and above our seichel and our standing, that is shtus de Kedusha. So what do we say? It says you shall make the Karash, the beams for the Mishkan are made out of what? Out of shittim wood. What does that mean? Shittim wood. To take the shittim, the shtus of the world, and to transform that into shtus di kedusha. You need to transform the shtus of the world and make from it pillars for the Mishkan. And we see this even in the word Karash. You shall make a kaddish, a beam, a wooden beam for the Mishkan. Also, sheker, the word kaddish, is in the same letters as the word sheker, which means lie. You have to take this sheker and turn around the letters and turn it into kaddish, which is a beam. Explains in deep length, and very in length, this idea in chapter 6 in the Maimer Basi Legani explains this idea of transforming the sheker from the world and turning it into a kaddish. Haynu shel sheker ilam esim krashim la mishkan. Aber even shel krem shem amudim imdim. Kenin hu amudim shemachaber mesamala imamata vesamati mamaylo. Archanaisim la chodim, and it's not only called a kaddish like a beam of wood, but it's called also like a beam that connects the roof to the floor and the floor to the roof, and it makes it one, which means you're connecting godliness, the roof, and the floor, the worldliness, and you're making it into one Metzias. And all of this is done through a person serving Hashem in a way of Shtus Dikdusha, going above his understanding. A person serves Hashem, he loves Hashem, not only according to what he understands, which that is Kedusha, but that's acting in a regular way of Kedusha. Shtus Dikdusha is that a person loves Hashem and serves Hashem more than what he's able to, more than his abilities, more than what he can understand and make sense. And this work is done through the Jewish people, which they are called Tiv'ois Havaya, the army of Hashem. The Rebbe Rayatz continues in chapter 11 to explain, the Rebbe Rayatz explains in depth what is this idea that the Jewish people are called the army of Hashem. What is the idea, the purpose of an army? In order to go out to war, he can't go out to war by himself. As great as he is, he needs his army to fight the war, to go out to war and win the war. We see clearly, even in kingdoms down here, that when a king is running a war, for him to win the war is not just like a sorry thing. Well, yeah, if you get it done, that's good. If not, then it's also good. Who cares? No, to win the war, this touches, and this is something that the king wants very, very strong, and this affects his whole essence. And where do you see that to win the war, this affects the king to the deepest levels of the king? They want so much that the war should be won. It says, "Va'ad shekol ha'etzeres," a king, in order to win the war, a king, all of his treasures that he saves for generations. Both treasures that he himself put together and collected, and so too treasures that he inherited from his forefathers that they also collected. So what does a king do with all of these treasures? He says, these treasures are so precious and cherished by the king that no one sees it. They're all locked up and closed up, that no one should see it. If the king doesn't show these treasures to people, it's needless to say that the king does not use these treasures. In order to win the war, the king opens up all of his treasures and he throws all the gold and silver and the treasures all over the place. And he says, take whatever is needed to win the war. Take. Don't have any, mercy on these things. He just gives out everything he has because he wants so much of it to win the war. These treasures that he hides, treasures that he collected, his forefathers. Nevertheless, the king win the war. So he gave these treasures to the generals for the army men in order to win the war. In order to understand what is this idea of a treasure. What's this treasure? So he introduces Mashakasav Bezeda, but the Kunik Zoyar, Aiden Seif Lamailad in Kates or Lamat in Tachlis. He brings the term from Zoyar and the Kunik Zoyar that the infinite light of Hashem shines. It's shining in the highest levels with no end. As high as you go, God's light is shining there. And also down, it shines down in the world till without any stop. And explains that what is the treasure of God? This is the light of Hashem that shines all the way up without an end. Up. That is the level of a treasure that the king gives to the army men to win the war. In order to explain that it should be understood this, how precious and how great this level of the infinite light of Hashem that shines all the way up without an end. So he introduces before that the idea of the light of Hashem that shines all the way down without an end. This is a level of godliness that spreads out and shines all the way down without any stop. And it shines all the way down till such an extent that wherever it reaches, wherever you bring this light, as low as it is, if it's the lowest of the lowest, it shines all the way down, and it shines in a form. She's made al Gedali, so as low as it is, it doesn't change the light. It's not like it's a different light, it's not the infinite light of Hashem. No, it is the infinite light of God that it shines all the way down. And after that, he starts to explain the idea of the infinite light of Hashem that shines all the way up with no stop. So after explaining that it goes all the way down with non-stop, you have this light. He explains after that the idea of a oicha, which is the light that's all the way up with no stop. So the whole Indian the idea of the light of Hashem that shines all the way up without a stop is much greater than the level of the light of Hashem that shines all the way down. If we understand how great it is, and even in the lowest of the lowest, Hashem's light is shining with no difference, and it's in a way of Ein Sof. So too, we can understand how great the light that's shining up all the way up is much greater than that. And right after that, he explains that this is the level of an Eitzar, the light of Hashem that shines all the way up without a stop. So even this high level, this lofty high level of godliness that shines all the way up, if not a stop, without any limits, this is the level that Hashem gives to the army men. And he doesn't only just give it in an organized form, go to the main office and take this and that. Rather, bizbuz, everything is opened, everything is spilling. It's bizbuz, it looks like it's being wasted even. So from this, that the king is giving all of its treasures even in a form of bizbuz, even in a form that it seems like is wasting, this itself shows how much it's so essential, so important for the king that they should win the war. Therefore, he gives everything he has. He gives it even in a form of bizbuz. He throws everything in order for the army men to win. So till here is mainly a summary of the Mimer Basi Legani from the beginning of the Mimer till chapter 13. Now that Rebbe continue 13, 14. Now that Rebbe continues, he continues to explain in the 15th chapter of the Mimer. Shem Shein Save Hula Mata Mata Bispashtus Vigulu Yadin Shiru Mismar Kamal Hinikoiken Hu Aidin Save Lamaila Milo Adin Kates Chinas Helem Ha'id Shu Behelem Achar Helem Uveilu Achrilu. So just like Hashem's light shines all the way down into the lowest places, and there's no limit. Hashem's light shines everywhere. So too, this idea. So that's lamata mata adin tachlis. So too, the idea of lamai adin kates. What does this mean? He says the light is hidden, a hiddenness after a hiddenness, and an elevation above an elevation. Ili achar ili. It's higher than light and higher than revelation. So what is this going on? It's higher than all the halam, it's higher than everything. This is going on at Tzimtzum, the contraction that there was in Ein Seif Baruch Hu. Shehu is almus ha'id, v'skalus b'matzmusi Baruch Hu. This is the hiddenness of the light, and how the light was included in the essence of Hashem. So this is what it means that it's lamaila, it's very, very high, without any level. This is going on the oid, the way it's very, very hidden, which means even before the tzimtzum. And the Rebbe is going to explain these few lines of the Rebbe Rayatz. So what does this mean? The Bishlam Menegay, I learned they didn't say Flamata, I did Nachlis, had a cave and shade and say Batsam who made sure who lived in that tzimtzum. Moving gay to lead in Shabam Shachas Lamata, Ad Lamata, Shay Lamata Amen. So because Hashem's light, we can understand how great it is to shine all the way down without any limit. Lamata Mata Adin Tachlis. Why? Because Hashem's light is really such a high, lofty level. It's above than the world. It's totally exalted, totally higher than shining in this low places. So we can understand how great it is that this light can come and shine even in the lowest of the lowest. You can't even compare. This is what it means. Comparison to the level of the light that was before the construction, before the tzimtzum. But what is this idea of Aiden Safe is elevated without any end all the way up? And the Balav Hachi Nimtzai in Safe Livnea Tzimtzum. About Aiden Ayosil and Myladin case. What does it mean that Hashem's light is shining all the way up without any limit? Seemingly, God's light was here. Everything was Hashem. There was always Aiden Safe. So what is about this? That the Aiden Safe was shining Lamaila all the way up. Adin case. But sure, what else should be there? Adin case. Obviously, the infinite light of Hashem. So what's so great about this? That the light is over there, Adin case. So because this is what he explains, that what's Aiden Safe shining, it's shining in the level of the hiddenness of the light. There's a certain level where the light is hidden above, which we're going to explain, which this is, and there's a hiddenness above a hiddenness, there's hiding, there's concealments of the light all the way up there. Helam achar helam. Certain levels are above being revealed. And all the way up there, you have the infinite light of Hashem shining. And this is the idea of the Tzimtzum. So to explain this idea, before the potatoes about we'll understand this according to what the Baal Shem Tov explains on the pasuk. Reishis bara likim. In the beginning, Hashem created S. In the beginning, Hashem created S. What is S? Reishis v'tirgim yenis and v'chachma. Reishis Targum Yenison says this is going on chachma. This is the first level of the Aleph base. Like the pasuk says, I will teach you chachma. So the term of the word I will teach you is Aleph, which is a letter Aleph. So Aleph is symbolizing on wisdom and chachma. And it's Atif Bei V'Teches Aleph. Obara Eir Minais Aleph. Who ate Hashem got dressed in the letter Aleph. And he created a light with the close of Aleph. He created the light of Atzilus. Then Hashem, as he was dressed in Aleph, he dressed in the letter Beis also. And with the together, he created the world of B'riyah. After that, way he's dressed with the clothes of Aleph, and he's dressed in the clothes of Beis. He got dressed in the clothes of the letter Gimel, and he created worlds that are under the world of B'riyah. Till he got dressed in all the Aleph Beis, till he got dressed in the letter of Taf, and with the letter of Taf, he brought even Taf this lashon Nachteinim, the lowest worlds. Because of Bereshis as showing in Chav. So this is what it says. Bereshis bara likim in the beginning. Bereshis bara likim es. What's es? The letters of the Aleph Beis from Aleph till Taf. The 22 Isis in the table. So what are in these Aleph Beis? In these Aleph Beis you have, it says Hashem got dressed in them. And with the light of the Aleph Beis, he created the world. He got dressed in the spirituality of the letters, which is called Shemayim. So with the 22 letters of the Torah, and the godly and the earth. This is symbolizing on all the ideal courses of the world. This is a 400 close from the letters of Aleph till Taf. Taf is the gematria of 400. So Aleph is one basis, two. Aleph base symbolizes on clothes, on garments. So with these 400 garments, Hashem created the world. With all of this, Hashem created this world, which is nothing lower than this world. And after that, Hashem concealed himself with several concealments and several shells and covers. Which these several covers are symbolizing on Tayu Vavayu V'Cheshach V'Tehim. Like the pasuk says, this emptiness and darkness of the world. This is what the pasuk continues, that the world was Tayu Vavayu. We gave it. So all of these concealments, is all coming from the name of Likim of Hashem. All of this is the idea of Elikim, which Elikim is concealment of the light of Hashem. Move on. For this is understood. שישנו אירן סייף כפי שבגילו לפני הצמצום המים לשער אלין פשוט ממלא כל המציאות. So from all of this is understood that you have this light of Hashem, the way it's revealed before the concealment, before the tzimtzum, and like it brings, like it continues in the mimer, that before these concealments of the light of Hashem, you had the simple light of Hashem shining everywhere. It filled up the whole place of the world, the whole mitzvahs of the world. So first you had the light of Hashem shining everywhere. And then Hashem getting dressed in this clothes, and letter Aleph, Beis, Gimel, and all the letters of Aleph, Beis, till those stuff which all symbolizing garments. Shena Maimed, so all these clothes and all of these garments. After that you had the light of Hashem shining everywhere. These are called Be'elam Achar Helam over Ilu Yaakov. What it means, concealment, elevated, above elevated. This is, you can't see this light, there's no light. It's not revealed. Which over here there are two aspects in the concealment of the light. Two forms, two ways. One way is Heder there isn't, the light itself isn't here, and the light isn't shining. Heder means that Hashem totally, completely moved the light. The light isn't here, he moved it on the side. That's one idea. You're moving the light to somewhere, a different location. The Heder not only that you're moving the light on the side, but even where the light is, it's not a revealed form. And according to this, it explains the idea of Lamayla in Kates. What does it mean, Lamayla in Kates? Higher than all these concealments of all the letters of Aleph base, all of these symptoms. These are all the way up higher than everything. If being that symptom indicates, we can add to this idea of the concealment of the light of Hashem. The way it is, all the way very, very high before the creation of the world, with no limit. You can understand this according to the Torah of the Baal Shem of the Maggid. In the Sefer Zayteda on Parshas Balach on the pasuk, make for you 2 silver trumpets. HaKadosh Baruch Hu also kamet tzumim, that has kama elements. K'dei sheyi ya'achdus im ha'odom shelo yochol elizbel es be'Yerushalayim. Hashem made several contractions on his life to cover it over, in several forms, in order. Through the word, in order that the person should be able to handle the strength of the light. And a person, Hashem put himself his light, concealed his light in order that the person should be able to handle the light. And a person also to save himself from all this physicality in order that he can be elevated through all the worlds to be able to be connected with Hashem. Should become one with Hashem, be united with Hashem. And then a person is going to be called with the name. The person, the way he is down here, he's only Dam, Dalit Mem, Dibur, and Maisa. I'm sorry, Dibur and Machshava Tor, Dalit, it's big man's speech. And Mem is Machshava thought, through this, that a person connects to Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the creator of the world. So then you have also the Aleph Adam. This makes him in. So it says 2 silver trumpets. Shadam Uchatzi Tzura Shahura Gdam. For Aleph Levat Kivyochel Gam Kenedet Tzura Shlema. So the person on his own down here, he's a half a form. He's at 1 trumpet. That's Dam. And the Aleph on his own, which is also not complete. Aleph isn't also the word Adam. that is symbolizing on the second half the machshava da ibishter the second trumpet. So when they both, when you have the two trumpets, Tzitz is Lashon Tzura, Shtei Tzuris. When you connect the both halves, both forms, the Dalet, the member of the person that connects to the Aleph, Alufa Shaleilam, the Eibishter, through this you have Odom. And we move on from all of this is understood. Even though there are several levels of contractions of the light of Hashem and concealment after concealment, even though there are several contractions in Hashem's light, like we said earlier, that Hashem through all the levels of the Aleph base. But nevertheless, the whole purpose of all of this is it's not in order that the light of Hashem shouldn't be shining in the place where it is after the contraction. It's not that you're trying to prevent the light from shining in the place where you're covering over the light. You're covering it over the light and you don't want it to be in this place after where you have this concealment. On the contrary, no, the whole purpose of the contraction is that the light should shine in the place where the person is. In order, on the contrary, the point of the contraction is that the light should be able, that the person should be able to handle the light, and it should be able to be united with the light in a pneumistic way and internalized. Durchbrechen. Es kol agashmi shaloi yala no mata la mailo actually is chaber makadish baruch hu shezahu alef alu shalifin shalachtus. So the whole purpose is that a person should become united with the Eibishter. The person that he's Dalit Mem Dam, he should break through all the physicality and all the limitations of the world, and he should elevate himself as high as possible till he should become one with Hashem, which that is symbolizing on the Aleph, Alufa Shaloilam, in a way of Achdus, and like this, you have a Tzura Shaloimah. So the purpose of all these concealments and contractions is that a person should, the purpose is not to block the light from a person. On the contrary, it's in order that the person should be able to handle the light, and through his work, he should elevate himself. The Mem should elevate himself to the Aleph, the Alufa Shaloilam, and become one with the Eibishter, and through this you have a complete Tzura. We continue, Mashiach now.